So welcome to a part 2 video. I don't really do that many part 1 and 2 and all that, but this is of course this fantastic echo recorder part 2, and this is all about the electrical thingies. But of course there's also electrical problems, not just mechanical problems. So here we go. So here's my little inductor. This is 1 millihenry, by the way. I just took another one and put it on the audio line here. This is a line level, just showing how two inductors couple real good. Of course, if I have it like this, wireless audio, huh? So this just proves that the injection is definitely working. So yeah, let's go see. We actually don't need the motor to run to do this test. So here's my little injector, and this is, I'll just show this little detail here. Try and see if you can see the way the tape moves this way. Okay, so that means this is the recording head and this is the playback head. It's that easy to figure out, right? Of course, if the tape is moving the other way, well, this one will of course be the other way around, right? But here's my little injector. So the playback head works and is making a nice sound, but I get nothing recorded, so something is wrong with the recording system here. So let's try and look at the connections for the 3 different heads. So this is of course the erase head, and this is the recording, and this is the playback. And this one of course works. So over here is in the recording head connections, I got a little ohm meter ready. I'm sorry for the out of focus problems. This is a usual and quite annoying problem. Let's focus on this one up here. So recording, oops, look at that. What is that? But obviously the recording head signal goes through this ultra thin, super flexible coax cable, remember? And that's of course been moving around a million times. So what I was thinking, is it possible to change it? Look at that. This cable right here, super flexible, so it goes here, and it's also going into this super thin little holder. So is there any way I can change it? Of course, here it has never been moved. It's probably cracked right there. So if I take this out up here, I could probably access the wires and attach a new little cable. So that is my idea. Hopefully I will be able to figure that out. I'm not super impressed about this mechanical solution right here. Look at that. How they're squeezing the little wire. There will be a very, very thin wire in here, and I need to somehow figure out how to access this. And that's a little bit of a surprise. We've got 2 little wires in here and a shield, of course, and they are so thin, by the way. And up here I measure 87 ohms DC, and that is about right. So I feel the recording head is good. All I have to do is see if I can find a really thin and super flexible cable, and then I can somehow solder it here and make this little wire go like this and something like that. And yeah, I think I will be able to fix this. So this cable here is a coax cable. It is actually, this is a toothpick. I mean, it is really thin, and it is super flexible. It's also Teflon, by the way. I think it's Basuna, by the way. Really cool cable. And I don't know if we can see the little inner It is that thin. I hope I will be able to use this, and yeah, let's carry on with that one. My playback amplifier isn't working, so this is my playback head, and it goes through this amplifier, and I took this circuit board out, and it's just one big nightmare to get that one out, you can imagine. And the documentation I got looks really nice and fine, but it's not the same version. And this is the only component placement drawing I got. And if you look at what I got here, it is not the same. And all the transistors in my signal path, let's look at the schematic a little bit. So here's my playback head. So that means those 3 transistors, and that will be 1 millivolt AC, and it becomes 1 volt. So we got 1000 times amplification in those 3 transistors, and that is clearly not happening. And so why is this not happening? And here's my input, and there you go, 9, 8, and 7, and here's the output. So now I'll try and figure this out, because I couldn't really go and measure this and that, because I just couldn't figure out what is what here, because everything looks completely different on my circuit board compared to my schematic and all that. So I just took out the board, and I want to show you. This is how it looks like, and I think this one is from, look at that, 1965. So how about we just clean this board, change the capacitors. I think we got, see, some small ones, and they're probably leaky, and we got yeah, quite a lot of capacitors, and just a deep clean that will maybe remove all the bias problems and maybe get some amplification back again. So I'm not giving up that easy. So I took out all the electrolytics on this board, and remember how dirty and nasty it was? I also washed it and cleaned it and made it real nice and fine. But what I want to do is, this is the output and this is the input, and I want to put it like this, just like how I have it in the machine, and try and power it up. So here's, oops. Yeah, I always put all the capacitors like this, and then I do a little bit of measurement and leakage, this and that, and can I explain exactly what happened just for fun? So anyway, let's try and see if there's any stable gain now. I actually think this is a little bit interesting. So let's just look at those 3 transistors, and it says here somewhere 1 millivolt input, and we know the output impedance of the playback head is like, let's just say 100 ohms, okay? And also the output from this amplifier is loaded with about 100 kilo ohms or something like that, right? So I also loaded the output with about 100 kilo ohms, right? So here's the thing. We got 24 volts on the supply, and look at the resistor values. They are very, very high everywhere, ultra high. So I'm just powering this almost at 24 volts. See, there's no indication on my meter here. And yeah, my input to this amplifier is 10 millivolts, but I have a 1K resistor and then 100 ohms to ground locally, just to simulate my input here, right? I got alufoil under this paper, and this alufoil is connected to ground as well. And now I get many volts of output. Yay! So that means my amplifier is back and working. Oh, let me show you what happens if I remove this little gripper here to my alufoil. Let's look at the same time here. Alufoil is gone, and then noisy. So it is, you can actually still see it. It's a little bit jumpy. And if I remove my input, so now it's nice and quiet. So it actually has something to do with the loop and the wires and the way that the ground here and my power supply, mains ground, and noise going through the ground of this. Of course, just a sub-millivolt between those two grounds, and then you have all sorts of funky stuff going on here. This is like 1,000 times amplification, so that will reveal all the nasty stuff. So now we'll try and put it back in and see if it works. So let's try and make a little video. Put the loudspeaker a little bit closer to the camera here, so you can still hear the little motor and system like that. So let's turn off the echo completely and play a little. Hello. Why isn't it just playing? How annoying is this? Okay, here's a little drum thingy. And listen to the. So this is the bass. This is all of it. But let's focus on the snare. So now it's double. Okay. Then yeah, so I believe it's working. You can, if you want to play with the kick drum instead, you can of course do that. All right, so let's turn this off and say, hey, how about we put in a brand new tape, because this tape loop we got here is really, really old and absolutely crappy. So today I went and got a brand new tape loop right here. So I'll try and put this in and hear if there's any difference in the playback quality. So this is a brand new tape loop, and my god, there is a lot more output and much more nice and clear. Listen. So this is the normal. Just take it. Only the snare. Yeah, you can definitely add all sorts of this. I love it so much. For drums, this is really, really cool. But anyway, I think it is time to say thank you very much for watching. Oh boy, I had so much fun with this unit. And please like and subscribe and tell all your friends, alright? Bye bye!